I'm doing a 60-minute session for a client, so I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, you've shared so many interesting background stories about your life, and I'm going to copy and paste this into the description so other people can participate in reading it. And I'm going to kind of summarize it a bit. I'm really you have a very clear mind and a very clear way of organizing your experiences. And it's very easy for me to follow through everything that you're going through, and it's all very logical. Um, your your observations, your look into these concerns and what you're wanting to achieve here, it's actually really well done. I don't. It's kind of a weird thing to critique, but I'm telling you, you have an incredible writing style, and it was very engaging for me. And I just feel like you should know that about yourself. So in 2014, you were diagnosed with schizophrenia, excuse me, after having a hard time at the internship in Paris. You've had other issues with schizophrenia hospitalizing you, and you've actually indicated you were hospitalized 5 times for schizophrenia in the span of 6 years. That's a really big deal. And your brother had indicated that maybe there's a lack in social skills that's causing this to flare up. And you say that you're fine talking to one person, but I fear and want to stay away from social situations because I struggle with showing my true personality. That's really observant. So you also say that on the topic of health, my menstrual cycle has stopped for 2 months, and my doctor says that my estrogen is very low. He decreased the medication that I usually take to see if that will change anything. I want to be healthy both mentally and physically. So again, we have the schizophrenia, we have the medication in order to support a mental balance, right? And now what could be causing then low estrogen is the schizophrenia medication, which then has been reduced. Also, the possibility that there's stress, social skills challenges here that could be causing the flare ups as well. So you really want to take a look at this. All right, now this is really beautiful. As So all I ever want as an adult is to find success in becoming a model in Japan. And you shared photos, and I think you can definitely pull it off. Okay. So there's some challenges because after you had joined track and field, you had an injury with a torn ligament, and that's your relationship with food and body hadn't been the same since then. So you'd gained some weight, and they've been asking you to lose 10 kilograms, and that would help you to get more noticeability. You're also wanting to start classical ballet again, and you'd done it for 10 years but had to stop due to your injury. And you're wanting to lose enough weight to get into a high profile agency and succeed at modeling. So is modeling right for you? You also are currently an artist, and you're wondering if that is your path. So you say, I did study fashion and textiles, and that is what I eventually want to pursue, but right now it's modeling, is what I think I really want to do. You have such a colorful storyline. Oh my gosh. Okay, now your relationship with your mother. You and your brother must be very close because you really value his opinion. And he sees you and your mom as very similar. And she has some awkwardness too in social situations. And you find yourself feeling like you want to know who you are. And because your mom's energy can kind of overshadow you to just be who you are. And that's something that you want me to look into as well. And then lastly, and I will take a look at this, okay? Um, you want me to explore ghost clearing on the land that your house is built upon. And you've been told by another psychic that it's the reason for your artist's block. So let's definitely explore this. But you were kind of wondering if maybe the schizophrenia medication could be getting in the way of your ability to be artistic. Okay. Thank you very, very much for giving me a beautiful look into your life story, and for the opportunity to just connect with you and sharing this experience. And let's see what comes up, okay? So many great details. Okay. First thing I come into is I can hear a heartbeat, ba bump, ba bump, ba bump. And I'm trying to, is that too fast? Is that the right pace? It seems a bit rushed to me. And there's an attachment between the mind and the heart is speeding up. But it's confusing because we can't tell if this is the right pace for the heartbeat or if the heart is going too fast. And the connection with the mind is conflicted because the mind is trying to observe, is trying to decide the right pace, and things seem to be a little bit rushed here. Like things are a little bit moving too fast. So there's a mind heart connection, and it does feel quite physical, like the way that the mind regulates the heartbeat. I don't I don't know all about that medical stuff, but it's kind of showing me there's a connection here, and the mind is having a hard time interpreting the right pace for the heart to beat at. Mm. Okay, another totally different vibe happening here. I'm still experiencing this connection over and over and over again, and that's existing, still circulating, okay? Then a new scene comes, and there's a big old mug, like a mug of coffee. It's kind of interesting design, like it's made out of clay, and then it's a really thick octagonal shape, and then it has this handle that's kind of looks like it's painted to look like a tree branch, and then the clay part is just like a light whitish cream color. It's very simple and very interesting looking. It could be a really fun mug. So this is really quickly put in before my eyes, and it almost like kind of hits me in the head, like too close, too close. I need you to just pull it back so I can actually see. So this is that just came out of nowhere. And this scene here is like a slat. Like, let's take a rectangular shape, and that's where I see this. Now, over in this rectangular shape that is next door, also connected, there's this mind heart regulation constantly taking place. This here with the mug is quieter, is more neutral, is more, it's very basic, it's very simple. I just feel like I'm almost just like, it's like I'm trying to participate in what is inside these experiences, but I feel kind of at a distance, as though I'm just watching life on a TV screen, but I'm not really inside of life on the level that I want to be. And so I'm just kind of looking. All right, this is an interesting idea because this schizophrenia relationship, it seems to be part of your life purpose. Okay, obviously it's part of your life purpose, that's why you're having this experience. It's actually to give you a unique approach to being human differently. So the average human feels an association with reality, with their feelings, with their mind and their heart balance. They feel inside, and reality is surrounding them in a more robust way. What I am being introduced here is that it's going to feel like, and maybe this is the medication is helping you to stay balanced. It's going to feel like reality is around you, but you're going to be kind of looking into reality from a distance. even if it feels like it's around you, you're going to be looking in at a distance. So you're going to have to be very observant about what you're seeing and remember what that feels like. How things make you feel, because there's something missing in how you feel enriched by colors, shapes, sizes, ideas, concepts. You're really a creative person. Like, you're extremely a creative person, so creative of a person. So now you have a schizophrenia medication that's separating you from a relationship with creative arts. Creative senses. Creative senses are can flow like emotions, and they can be robust and abundantly interesting in many different like fibers of how they weave together and create the inspirations. And so I do really feel strongly that, and don't it like embrace this challenge, because you can do it. You absolutely can do it, and this can make you quite an incredible human being in so many ways as you continue to move through life. I still have not been able to emphasize properly what all of this means to me yet, but it's really special. Okay, I would encourage you to embrace this schizophrenia journey and the schizophrenia experience, and do not let this, don't allow it to feel like it is in the way of you living the most robust life you can. It's actually teaching you to enhance your talent in a way that's going to be uniquely different than the average human being, because the medication creates a different relationship with the energy around you. Um, okay, I'm going to try very hard to explain this on another level. And we'll look at estrogen levels and all that stuff too, because there's concern that the medication is creating now this bodily imbalance. And I can't blame you for being very concerned about that. This is still the beginning of your journey, and this is still me understanding it all. This is very unique energetically for me because usually I would say, well, you're blocked from feeling as though you are in the center of life experiences, and that you are totally robustly connected with this mug and robustly connected. It's almost like everything is at a distance, and then you're looking at it from a distance, which then keeps you safe from how you are psychologically processing reality, is creating the schizophrenia reaction. Does this mean that you're truly a schizophrenic person, or you haven't learned how to adjust your emotions with your reality, with your identity, and it's all going like this, and now you're having episodes that are overwhelming, even if you're taking medication? Everything is telling me that this is okay. Everything that you have going on in your life, this is all okay. Everything is okay. Everything is absolutely okay, and it is interesting, and your soul finds it extremely interesting, and it finds it to enjoy the challenges of now being introduced to the human reality through the lens of some different relationship with reality and emotion and identity and self. You see how your soul loves to complicate the situation to make it more interesting, and then your crazy level of talent overcomes literally anything that's put in your way. I can see you being ridiculously talented, and the schizophrenia medication cannot slow you down. In fact, it will actually give you the gift of making art very uniquely different than anybody else is doing, because of the gift of it all. Okay. Because of the gift of it all, I just see you just ridiculously talented. I don't even think you know all the ways that you're talented. You're really talented. Okay. Not only are you physically beautiful, you're an incredible writer, and how you express your experience are very engaging. Your whole story with schizophrenia and the concerns, and all the different places. I mean, internship in Paris, like, you've been in a lot of different places. I mean, you're full of experiences. It's really, really fun to tap into your energy. Again, I feel like I'm so excited and not explaining enough in between. Okay, can't help it. let's get back to it. I really want to totally help you understand what I feel and experience full fledged in all its totality over and over and over again throughout this whole session so you can really love who you are, love your identity, love your soul style, love how you love to be challenged and how you take a challenge, turn it inside out, and go 10 leagues further than anybody else will ever take it. You have the power to do so much in your life, and no matter what gets in your way, you will show up and then some. That's what you can do. That's why I don't see the schizophrenia thing as really being in the way. If anything, you're learning how to be a new type of artist. And they're not showing me anything about ghosts and stuff yet. We'll take a look at that. But I do see that the schizophrenia and the medication is introducing you to a different relationship with creative expression. And you will conquer it. And you will discover a different way to be creatively expressive. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, so my idea before I became like full-blown out there psychic person, that being psychic was a certain type of experience that would be the exact same for every single person who's psychic. So I never considered myself psychic because I didn't feel like I really was picking up on the level of detail that I really wanted. And I assumed that being psychic was to be insanely detail oriented. You can imagine I'm pretty detail oriented in my experiences. But I didn't understand. I wasn't able to bridge between the human into the psychic human because my ego would get in the way and analyze things and I just didn't fit. Okay. So through experiences and people and time and events and challenging myself, now here I am. And I have learned that, for instance, this is not what people tell you, that you need to be able to psychically see. You don't need to be able to psychically see. It's so overrated. I don't psychically see. I psychically feel. And then through feeling, I interpret mega amounts of details. Mega amounts of details. So I've learned how you could say I'm visually disabled. But as you can see, I'm totally not visually disabled. It's just like a blind person can still interpret the road and cross the street. Like, how do they do it? They aren't blind. They're freaking interpreting things in their own human style. You're doing the exact same thing. This schizophrenia stuff, the medication is giving you an edge to interpret totally in a new way than anybody else would be doing it, which means you're going to have a new perception on life that is going to be your own unique style. And so you aren't going to fit in. Of course you're not going to fit in. You don't want to fit in. Because if you fit in, then the world is full of the same. We need the world to be full of different people so that all the same people can start to think differently and outside the box. Do you see what I'm saying about you and why you are a real gem? You're a real treasure, and anything that says otherwise, just kick it out the door because it's not true. You're so talented. You're so interesting. You're so different. And that's what makes you absolutely wonderful. So if you feel like you're having a social anxiety, because it's just handling people and people's situations. I prefer to be in my own world because I understand me and I spend a lot of time with invisible people. So then when I engage in human interaction, I get overwhelmed by it. So am I going to let that get in the way of me just living an enriching life that suits my own weird, awkward nature? No, I'm just going to be who I am, right? And I'm going to let life continue to introduce me to who I am. And that being awkward is actually okay. Because that awkwardness, I feel like you want to fit. You want to fit in your idea, like how I perceived a psychic to be. I wanted to fit into that idea, okay? And I couldn't do it. Because that wasn't realistic. It wasn't even real. It was a complete fabricated lie that my ego had created because I was trying to fit in. Even with whatever I thought being psychic was, I was trying to fit in. And so I wasn't allowing myself to do it my own way. It took time for me to be introduced to that. And so you too, like, you are doing it in your own way, so you can't fit in. Because you're doing it in your own way, not trying to be like everybody else and then figure out how to blend into the masses, because you're meant to stick out. You could say stick out like a sore thumb, but stick out like the best thumb I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? Like, I like to really showcase Jesus as he stuck out like a sore thumb, right? But he stuck out like the best flippin' thumb anybody had ever seen. That's why we give him a thumbs up, right? Because he wasn't like anybody else. He didn't freaking fit in. He was his own guy. How many people are their own person, and that's why they go down in history? Not because they were like everybody else. They go down in history because they are their own person. And you're going to go down in history as your own person. And you got to own that, and then everybody can follow you. Not you trying to fit in with everybody else, you owning it your own style, and then everybody follows your lead. You know, so people follow your lead. So see how we're turning this inside out? I can see you taking this conversation and going like leagues with it, because that seems to be your gift. I mean, this is no handicap. This schizophrenia thing is no handicap. Don't ever feel like it is kind of pushing you down. I don't even think that you necessarily are letting it do that to you. You're just kind of accepting it and going with the flow and acknowledging you're having challenges with it. And it might be also doing this. But it's not like you're giving into it as kind of a crushing part, a blow in your life that you can't ever get up from. Because you've already gotten up and you already have all these dreams that you're wanting to pursue. And the schizophrenia is not really that big of a deal. But maybe it is. It isn't. Because you're so talented and you're so clever and you're so good that you will overcome anything, and no medication is going to get in the way of your talent, your raw talent, okay? You need to hear this. You need to hear this. Your brother needs to listen to you. Okay, let's see her. I do not see her art. I can see why it would feel blocked, and the first thing they're showing me is that the schizophrenia medication can do that because it is separating you from feeling like you are immersed in the creative juices and the flow of energy that is so human and so natural and so like living, and you're just kind of like looking through a window into it and feeling kind of disconnected from it. Okay, but you will learn how to adapt to this. You will learn how to adapt to this, and you will bring some of the most intriguing art. I guarantee. I feel like you haven't done it yet, but I'm already in awe of what I'm picking up on. This sounds really weird, but they're kind of showing me an idea. Do whatever you want with it, because you're very colorful. So I don't even know how this would fit, but they show me this idea of painting how you feel. And okay, I know that we're just saying that you being in the center of life revolving around you, the medication kind of keeps a separation so that you can kind of, so it, in a way, let's say all the threads in the fabrics, you have to remember what that was like in order to allow that to flow through you. But you do remember what it's like, and it is in your soul, so you'll never forget it. It's the blind man can cross the street, no problem, because he doesn't need the eyes to see. I can do the psychic stuff, no problem, because I don't need to psychically see it. I can feel it, and that is how I see everything. And you're going to figure out how to do it as well, and you're going to outsmart your situation. And they were showing me deep emotions that are worth tapping into. And maybe it's your memory of feelings, or maybe it is how you feel. And it's okay to just let it out. And they show me you painting with black and white. Really tall, long canvas. And it's not necessarily like a full-length person size. It's kind of maybe half a length person size. But I see this like you just letting something come out of your heart that isn't controlled by your mind, and just in just putting white on a white canvas already seems kind of weird, right? But then you merge it with the shadow of the black, and I start to see faces merging, and it's like parts of your deeper emotions coming through and just shifting out of your being. And I don't know what it is about this art, but it creeps me out in the most like moving way. Like I feel like I relate to that emotion, and I feel like it reaches a deep part of my soul, and I feel like it's healing me by introducing me to my own unresolved pain. Okay, I know that's kind of dark, but that was something that they showed me, that you should explore shadow and light and dark, and experiencing or just letting out the human emotion onto the canvas. And then this somehow reaches people and heals unresolved parts of their own internal pain. What if you are a spiritual artist, like a psychic artist? Your schizophrenia medication will not ever get in the way of what it is that your soul wants to get out of this life, and you will be a leader, and where others will follow you, okay? And if it feels stressful when you're in situations, that's because you're your own person. And you're picking up on all these other people trying to figure out how to fit in so you could be likable or whatever. And I know that you can only ever be yourself. And I know how we kind of try to be ourselves, but we try to kind of be appropriate for how we feel other people will appreciate our presence. So we have a hard time then just being truly authentically ourselves. Everybody struggles with being truly authentically themselves in every single situation. So don't just forgive yourself and don't worry about it, and don't put too much stress into it that you have to be a certain way, okay? Because the only way you can be is you're one of a kind, and the world needs more one of a kind people so that all of the masses can follow you. And you're introducing new ways of being, and you are conquering what other people would say, oh man, you have schizophrenia? Yeah, no big deal. Look at this art that I create. Man, I take schizophrenia medication. I just don't know how to do art anymore. I'm telling you, you can do art. I figured out how, and I know you can figure out how too. This is what I did. Now you see that you're not only conquering this, you're teaching other people in the same bucket how to conquer it too. And you're giving a major gift to this world of yourself. And I feel like that's what this has all been about, is you continue to give more of yourself to the world, and you are a total gift. You're a total gift to this world. I mean, it's oozing in here, undeniably oozing, and all I can do is just tell you how awesome you are. I mean, it's oozing from every side. All right, here we go. What's the next thing? I feel like I've really emphasized it, schizophrenia and art and creative senses and all that. I know we were looking at the mind and the heart. I do want to kind of go back to that and see what I can do to help, because that seemed very overwhelming to me. So, mind, you doing okay? It says no. Why? And it just points at the heart, okay? Say, what can I do to help? It's really adorable. It's like a little upset child. It's so cute. I say, I'm not leaving you to go to the heart just yet. Because I feel like you need to be seen and you need to be nurtured, and you are doing a very good job, mind. Your mind is doing a very, very good job, and I'm so proud of you, mind. And then, okay, I see the mind open up like a flower that has kind of gotten a stinky rot inside of it, okay? And the mind doesn't want to look into itself because it's afraid of what it's going to see in there. Okay. This is a totally new side. Oh my God. You are so full of interesting doorways. Okay, so everything I've told you at the beginning still stands, okay? But now I have to go through a completely new doorway that's going to seem like a complete hypocrisy. But we have to move through this to see what this is about. Okay, so there's a lot of fear here. And I feel that the medication helps to not let this be too loud because it will disorient you down to your knees and it will break you down, and it's like it's going to break down every bone in your body and you won't be able to cope with it. Okay, so again, we have to learn how, either A, you take the medication, you'll overcome it, no problem, or B, you learn how to live without it. Can you do that? It's okay if you can or if you can't. It doesn't matter, because this is one life of bajillions of lives that's full of the treasures of what life is all about. Living, living. We'll all live with challenge. No matter what, every single individual person is going to live with challenge, okay? And then we embrace that challenge and we conquer it. And then we see our true selves. And so we don't let anything get in our way. And I see that as your true nature. So in this scene, there's all these dark entities everywhere, okay? And I see you very small, and they're looming over and they're going to kill you. I mean, they have knives and everything, and they're like a gang of really mean people that are going to stab you a bunch in your heart. They're going to kick you while you're down. They're going to rip you apart into pieces while you're still alive. It's pretty gruesome. You tell me they won't go away. They won't leave you alone. I, I'm apparently not going to help you. I stand here and I say, get up and show them who you are. Stop letting these things push you around. My God, I just told you about yourself. And you knowing that, man, you can move mountains. You can move mountains. So why do you give your power away to this junk? This is why this is here. To take your power away, to break you down so you can't do anything in this life but be curled up in a ball, weak and incapable, okay? But you, it's your life. It's not all those beings' life. It's your life. They're actually here to help you. It appears as though they're here to harm you. And they're quite scary, so it would definitely feel like they are here to harm you, but they are teaching you how to be strong in yourself. And you aren't choosing to be strong in yourself in this space. You have to be strong in yourself, and you have to be in awe of who you are, because I'm telling you, I could see you being famous. And it maybe it's for modeling, maybe it's for art, maybe you're a psychic person, maybe you're all these things. Maybe you're somebody who conquers schizophrenia, or somebody who does it with the schizophrenia medication. Maybe you're a speaker to large groups of people where right now that just doesn't seem realistic. You don't know how far you can take yourself in this life until you try, until you see yourself for who you really are. Now, let's see what we can do here. I am asked to back off, and I cannot take my hand to help you stand, and you're very small and you're being attacked by a lot of dark beings. I mean, you're straight up bullied on a hardcore level, and it's scary. But you are small, and you are thinking then that you are small because people who are bigger than you make the decisions and they decide your fate. And so these people are bigger than you, and then they can decide what happens to you. You can't decide what happens to yourself. This is in another space, like another dimension, okay? An astral space. And I'm wondering if this is an actual real event that happened when you were little. That brought this in, and it was unresolved, and now it's just echoing and creating these schizophrenic like experiences. Oh man, uh, that dried up stinky flower that just kind of opens, it goes puff, and there's like stinky smell. They show me a watermelon, and then it's cut in half and it opens up and it's all rotten on the inside, and this is hurting the brain, okay? The brain is in pain. Okay. Anger. The heart is trying to help the mind. The mind thinks it needs to help the heart, and there's an imbalance here. And we're going to get there, okay? there's going to be a lot of sick and twisted images here. There's something of like blood river, and it's parted on two sides, and it's really thick gooey blood. And I see a little girl standing here, and she looks like a cutout from a page, maybe of Alice in Wonderland. I mean, there's something pretty and simple in Alice in Wonderland looking like she's Alice, and she's a paper image, and just upon like this, she's just here, and then the blood is coming around her. And she doesn't want the blood to touch her because the blood will seep into the white paper that she's made out of, and then she'll get bloody, and she won't be a clean white piece of paper anymore. And she's very afraid of not being this perfect, clean, white piece of paper. And I tell you, anytime that the fear gets in the way, then you need to jump into the blood river, okay? And then just become the bloody piece of paper and get over it. Don't, so in life, we're going to have situations where we don't know for sure yet how the cookie will crumble, how this will unfold, okay? How the situation, how life, how our circumstances, we don't know how they're going to unfold. So in the present moment, we work with what we feel safe with, comfortable with, and we try to get those types of outcomes. They might not be the outcome, okay? So the outcome may not be for you to, this kind of reminds me of having to be this perfect reflection. And there's certain things that have happened along the way, like you being a model. Now you've gained some weight because of the track and field issue that you had, and the torn ligaments, which also got in the way of ballet, but you still want to be that. But now you're like this perfect white image that's got blood getting into it, and now it's not perfect anymore. It's not good enough. And I don't want that. I don't want this to come in and ruin what I want out of my life. But that fear has to get broken down. Because it's almost like your attention is so focused that it's good to diversify. It's good to diversify your attention. And we don't really know what that all means as of yet, okay? I would not say that you aren't capable of being a high-end model, or that you couldn't lose those 10 kilograms. I am not convinced that you can't do those things. And I think positive interaction with you, somebody who sees you for who you truly are, is going to empower you to be who you want to be. And literally nothing stands in your way. But I also feel like some of the circumstances that have happened in your life, like the torn ligament, and then the weight gain, right? And then the schizophrenia, and having some of these epiphanies, or you're observing things about yourself and your mom and then your brother's opinions on things, which I think he's quite observant too. And it's giving you stuff to work with, and it's giving you ways that you want to work on yourself to become the best you can be, because you got that going on. That's why you could conquer anything you put your mind to, okay? So what if some of these events happened angelically, as a blessing and a gift? It's not going to seem like it, because, how could that be a gift or a blessing that I have the torn ligament? Because now I'm not in ballet, and now I gained the weight, and and now I'm having a hard time achieving my goal, right? So it's going to seem like that wasn't really a blessing. That event was totally divine. That event, it was a good thing. And the schizophrenia thing, I'm telling you, these events are part of what is an incredibly enriching story about you. And I'm not kidding when I say I could see you going down in history, and that you make a huge impression on many people. I see you have that caliber, okay? And maybe me telling you this over and over and over again is going to help you look in the mirror and see how truly wonderful you are. And maybe that is the motivation you need to inspire the changes that help you to get there to the high-end agencies, because you lost the 10 kilograms. I don't know yet. However, if that's not what the outcome is, it's not the only path for you, okay? The art is something I see you continuing to dabble in. Like that really feels right. Even the modeling is something you really love. You love that industry. You love all that creative stuff is really juicy and good for you. And I feel like your soul, why you are such a conqueror is because you are so creative. And you could be very sensitive. You could even be very psychic. And that's part of the whole schizophrenia side of things. One day at a time here, okay? One day at a time. I'm supposed to tell you all this stuff, but I'm also supposed to tell you to diversify and expand your mind. I expanded my situation in order to become the psychic person that I am today, that I never thought I would ever be that, okay? And so in what ways are you diversifying to become somebody you never thought you would be? And it could still be in the same arena, right, as modeling or artwork or anything like that. We're opening the door, diversifying to things that we don't know yet. Even asking your angels and your guides and your higher self, show me some things about me that I don't even know yet. Show me some things. And what if the estrogen levels and the reduction in the schizophrenia medication, what if that is for a reason? So that we could see how you do, right? On a lower dose of the medication, not only to see how that improves estrogen levels, but to see how you do mentally on a lower dose. If we could find a way to help you handle a lower dose of schizophrenia medication, that would also be an interesting next step for your life. I just feel like there's so much really positive stuff here, and just keep thinking and feeling and being positive and knowing that you can do anything you put your mind to or your heart into, okay? Let me go back into this scene because I can't help you. You have to help yourself. And you're a very, very strong soul, okay? Very, 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 very strong soul. I mean, this stuff is no big deal for a strong soul like yours. And you need to know this. So you can start seeing what you're capable of and being open-minded to the things that you don't even know. They're so like silent and kind of lost in thin air, but nothing's really lost. You just haven't figured it out yet, but you will figure it out. You're already figuring it out in the scene, not because you're hearing me speaking, but because something is changing in your heart and it's giving you a new viewpoint, a new observation. And it's giving you an idea to try this differently. So if you try this by cowering and holding yourself in the middle of this circle of people, then what is the outcome going to be? You're the one going to be beaten down, okay? Well, you're going to have to try to stand up and see what that outcome creates for you, okay? So now you have a new idea that you need to try out. And the mind says, no, I don't want this. And I say, mind, you're not even in this scene. This is an energy body of yours, okay? And mind's like kind of confused by this because it feels like it has to be responsible for everybody, everything, in the whole body, in your whole life. Your mind has to be so responsible for everything, you know? And I'm saying, no, you're not responsible for this. This is an energy body. It has nothing to do with you. Mind, it doesn't like this either because mind insists it has everything to do with mind. I say, oh, are you these beings that are beating yourself down then? Making it so that you can't get up and be an empowered individual that goes down in history? Ego. Funny how ego is so intent on being number one, but yet it beats itself down so it'll never be number one. It's like ego is the most confusing thing. Okay. No, it isn't ego. These beings are not ego. These beings were sent here in order to break you down and make you feel powerless. Because at that moment of being completely broken down and powerless, you have an epiphany of how powerful you are. And when you get up and you realize that, nobody stands in your way. Not even you stand in your own way. So not even ego stands in your way. You've conquered even ego, okay? I will say this isn't just, I mean, it's going to take some process, but it's already happening, just us talking about it and looking at it right here. And then I do want to identify this as an event, a real event that's quite familiar to a younger you, like a 3-year-old you. Had some night terrors or something, and really it was it was to give the gift of this breakdown in order to make you that much stronger, in order for you, oh my god, you could, I swear you're going to go down in history. As a soul like yours is could totally go down in history, as a profound gift to the whole world of love and endurance and talent and just creativity, you know? You're standing up, you haven't figured it out yet, and they're really messing with your head to the point they're telling you that they possess you, they own you, that you have no control over yourself. And I'm sending vibes like they're just teaching you how to be in control of yourself. Don't they aren't they're literally more like spirit guides than they are like demonic, because they're truly whole and balanced. There's no broken parts of their energy. They're just choosing to take on the dark side of their persona in order to break you down, in order to help you become the strong person that goes down in history, okay? And you figure this out. You will figure this out. So they're introducing you to scary things like they possess you, they own you, you have no control over your own body, etc. I am waiting because I can't do anything. All I can do is watch and see what you do. Which means you're a very self-sufficient and independent, incredible person. You wait a while, like you just kind of let it happen and you live with it. But I see deep beneath this choice to live with it is actually another choice that knows exactly what it's doing. It's only acting like it is defeated, only for it to awaken at a certain point in time, to being completely over this. Like so hardcore over this, not putting up with this anymore. It's like this 10 years time span, and then suddenly bam, I'm not putting up with this anymore. Bam, you figure it out, and now you're in control. And that's exactly what these guides are here to break you down, and you figure out how to get out of this. When you're in control, you will finally see them for who they are, which is like super wise masters. Okay, I'm not kidding here. You're not there yet, which is okay. I do feel this creates quite the stinking headache, man. Is that why it stinks? The flower opens up and it's a stinky smell and it's a stinking headache in here. The rotten watermelon that opens up. Yuck. Don't like it. All right, I'm going to start changing the vibes, because your mind is perfect. Your mind is beautiful. Your mind is strong. Your mind is creative. Your mind is capable. We're going to start feeding your mind with the truth about itself. It's not broken. It's not, doesn't have any problems at all. Okay. Your mind is incredible. You have an incredible mind. Just keep those affirmations going, because it's going to feed the vibrations in here, and it's going to bring a lot of empowerment here. In anything that, like, don't ever say that the schizophrenia, or my mind has issues or anything. Don't ever say that. It doesn't. Your mind has zero issues. If anything, you're having quite an interesting experience between. It's an interdimensional experience where you could be far more sensitive to interdimensional planes, like a psychic person, than a regular person who, is part of the masses. Because guess what? You're an individual. So you aren't going to be like the masses, okay? Don't be like the masses, because then you won't be like yourself. So you tell yourself, my mind is freaking capable. My mind is in control. My mind is powerful. I am beautiful. Oh my God, I am so gorgeous. Wow, I have had some really interesting experiences. I'm so grateful for all the people in my life. So grateful for all the experiences I've had. And I am learning how to be strong in me, and nothing gets in the way of me. And when you say me, you're talking about that incredible soul self of yours. Because, my God, that me of yours is like, whoo, wah, 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 like the whole universe. It has like these chills up and down its universal spine, because that's what kind of soul you got, okay? Nothing stands in your way, and speak highly, positively. Keep putting it in there, okay? It's going to give you a power that comes back to you, and you won't feel as sensitive to different situations. You're still a human being, okay? I'm still a human being. I get sensitive as well. I get awkward. I get nervous. I do stuff like that too. Just like everybody else, I can do my psychic stuff, and then I do my human stuff, and I'm just like a human being. And you'll have moments where you're not going to feel like your empowered soul self. That's okay. Just run with it. Just know the truth about you and love every moment of this life, okay? Love your mom for exactly the way she is. I think I meant to tell you this in order for you to see your mom as your mom, and you to see yourself for who yourself is. And that is going to give you the power to be you now. You. Own it. And love your mom for who she is, right? And because you do love your mom, she just got the quirks, right? And that you see in yourself, and you're trying to figure out how to just be you without like maybe adopting her quirky nature. You can now be you because now you know who you are, right? Your brother is really awesome too, by the way. I'm really glad you have each other. So you should give him lots of hugs. And same with your mom. And hug yourself as well, okay? Okay, let me see. Yes, all right, let's take a look at the land, okay? Oh, before I do that. All right, so I told you, so the introduction is helping you to embrace the schizophrenia gift and to see how the medication is like what it looks like on the energy side and how it's helping you to kind of cope and stay in control, right? Because it's there to help, okay? These medications aren't there to imprison you like people will say, stuff like that. It's here to help you, okay? And then you decide how you want to work through life with the help of the medication, or if you want to give it a try to reduce it, which has already been reduced, right? Now you can see how you can do with a little less of the medication, because I can see you as highly sensitive, like so highly sensitive, and needing to learn some skills in order to work through what then is triggering the schizophrenia reaction, so that you can learn how to work through that, okay? You can do this. It's not necessarily going to be easy. Nobody said anything is going to be easy, right? I'm sure you, this talented one, can conquer anything you put your mind to, right? And so I'm to tell you this as we look at this other side, which is like, oh dang, what's this stinky flower in your head? What's the rotten watermelon represent? Is the medication having a hard time, like between the mind and heart relationship? Is this a physical concern? These sort of things. All the while, we're starting to understand other sides of you and how you interact with other dimensional planes, and that you have guides that are here to scare the living daylights out of you, to make you feel like you are small and they are in control, when all they're doing is giving you the ability to stand up for yourself over time as you learn how to, and then you will see them for who they truly are. And that could be why the schizophrenia medication, because of that, is probably hard for anybody to figure out how to deal with that, okay? But you'll figure it out. You will figure it out no matter what direction you take. You will be somebody in your life. I feel strongly that you will be somebody in your life. You already are somebody, in my opinion. You are a really, really, really abundant someone. Okay, that's very special. Now, I needed to just reiterate that. Okay, reiterate that. And love your mom, love your brother. Now you see who you are, right? Okay, let's take a look at the land. Let's see if I can do this now. Is there anything else I'm supposed to just tell you before we move on? Uh, okay, we're gonna look at the land and they're kind of this estrogen level stuff. I mean, I want to do as much as I can for you, but let's just go with where we're at right now, and then let's do the land because I'm kind of running low on time here. Okay. Mm. By the way, those beings are not related to what the psychic picked up on about your land, okay? That is a different thing. That is spirit guides. Spirit guides can be not nice. But they're actually the dark sides of themselves to break you down for you to develop that strength that they are guiding you to step into. So they are guides, they're whole, they're masters, they're incredible. They know what they're doing, okay? And see them as angels. See them as angels. Be smarter than this. See them for who they really are because they are really profound masters, okay? All right. When I go to your land, it's very weird. It's kind of like a dry, it's a cement looking, it's circle. It's very, 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 very dry. I can't believe how dry, energetically dry this is. I mean, if this was a forest, it would be on fire. It is so dry. I don't know how it's not on fire, okay? It's so dry. But they want you to know that they're showing me that it's cool. It's not hot. On the energy side, it's extremely dry, but it's a comfortable, cool temperature. I keep seeing like a circle with a dot, and it's made out of. It looks like cement to me, and it's hanging in front of my face. It's a circle with a dot in the inside, like there's this opening, like I can stick my finger through it. Okay, is this a like a crest or a coin or like a necklace item? And they show me the cement breaking off, and it reveals an interesting looking bead, and the bead has like a secret language on it, and it's got a beautiful, I mean, there's an energy to it. Let me just investigate it some more because I see it's also stuck, and what it's stuck in is not vibrationally good. But this bead is not strong enough to overcome what it is stuck in. And I will say this energy is really complex. And I'm wondering how this came about and when. It's like really, I mean, I feel time and history, human history, as in just there is so much meaning to location and stars and energy of interactions with people or animals in this location, like time. It's really, it's just saturated in what feels like I mean, vibrational exchanges. Let's call it vibrational exchanges. And there's kind of this man that doesn't want to let go, and he wants to pull the necklace off of this girl. And maybe this is a ring that she has on a necklace because he feels like this ring has got some sort of secret to it, and he's wanting to rip it off of her neck. And she's holding it and saying no, and that's where the energy gets stuck between the male and the female. And there is something about fire and burning, but they show me that everything's cooled down and it's comfortably cool. Like I quite enjoy the coolness. It's not cold by any means. It's a very comfortable cool. I see your home energy too connected with this land energy, and your home energy is kind of drawing off of it, and it's very dry. And it isn't creative. It's not. This energy is not creative. I don't see any like ghosts or. I mean, whatever this energy is it about a historical relationship between a man and a woman? Was a house burned down somewhere in time? Like these are interesting ideas. I don't know the answer to those questions, but I don't see anything that is like a spirit coming to me and asking me to set them free. I'm just seeing very dried out, stuck energy. There is the element of fire that is since burned down, like burned out, and everything's become very dry and even cemented over this necklace piece. Then comes off to reveal more. But the home energy also feels dry and stagnant and not interesting. Okay, it's not creative. It's not colorful. It's just like a still frame. Okay, that got stuck in time. I'm starting to break it down, and I see pieces of brick appearing out of nowhere. They're kind of invisible bricks, and now I'm starting to see like these bricks starting to crumble and break down into a pile. Oh man, this is interesting. This goes deeper. Okay, this goes way deeper. Once those bricks fall, I see your home and it's kind of open in the front, like the wall was removed and I can see inside. And I don't necessarily, there's an uncomfortable, like, this is bothering me feeling. I feel there's a funnel of energy that is your house is inside of, and then there's the energy goes into the ground here. And I'm trying to dissolve that. By the way, I'm opening your home energy up to light and sound and creativity and all that good stuff, okay? So just a second here. I'm just creating ripples, just creating ripples of sound, pulsating sound. I mean, this is long overdue. Tornado is kind of possessive, like it doesn't want your home energy to become colorful or creative. But why? Because you're unhappy? This isn't a ghost or a demon. It's just energy and what energy becomes when it's gets out of balance like this. So we can transmute it and it just disappears. Slowing down, I mean, I'm literally circulating it in a different direction and it's just slowing down the tornado, and it's not so angry and it's starting to just relax. And your home is literally, I didn't realize that it was up by like 2 inches, but it's set down on the ground now. There's another energy bubble, and I'm just popping that and letting the sunlight shine down upon your home. And I bring a part of the sun into the basically the heart of this ring, okay? Into that center. I put my finger through it, just putting that little bit of sunlight in there. But I don't give it just to the woman, I give it to the man too, because he also needs sunlight. And they both start to, they're very glued to one another, and they start to loosen up. And her heart hurts, her heart aches. And she holds this close to her heart. She holds this necklace close to her heart. And he can't accept it. He can't accept. It's almost like she has another secret lover and he can't accept it. And he finds out and he is enraged. And he isn't going to stop being enraged until he follows us all the way through. But that's where it gets stuck. Now they are standing looking at one another eye to eye. And his lesson is to let her go, to love her enough to let her go and not imprison her. Let her go, and now you will see she falls in love with you in another lifetime. Otherwise, you will be stuck to one another like this, and you will be doing it to her and to yourself. I tell him this. He cries and cries and cries, and I give him more sunlight to help him work through this emotion of loss and like he isn't loved, he isn't desired by her, and that breaks him down. And she never loved him, and she is kind of like a deer in headlights. Can I run or should I stay? I ask him if you're gonna let her go. I see another man comes as an energy being, and he gives her a flower and him a flower, and he bows to them both and thanks him for being thanks them both for being a part of his life. Then he holds her hand and they walk together. She turns into a spirit and they walk together to heaven. And then he turns into a spirit too. And he feels alone, and he asks God in a way like, why am I alone? God says, you're not alone. That was what you needed to learn, is that you're not alone. And then he starts to feel the sun within him, his heart, and he starts to experience a realm of so many happy faces that are welcoming him home. And he kind of goes inside of himself and disappears. And I start to now experience, whoa, like all this energy just shifts and everything relaxes substantially, and there's breath that is circulating through here. So that's that's that. I mean, I think we could do more, but I think that's a very very good improvement there. All right. Thank you very much, so much, for the opportunity to get to meet you and again learn your story and explore all of this with you and with everybody here on YouTube. So thank you for being open to sharing, and thank you all too for watching, and thank you for your love and support of my clients. I hope you all have a very wonderful day.